Hey, Cub fans. Thanks for joining us here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. And thanks for watching the weekend update for the week ending February 9th, 2024. It's been a little bit of a long week for me. I've been waiting on the Bellinger signing like everybody else, or really kind of the next signing, whether it's Bellinger, Chapman, Jordan Montgomery, all of the above we've been watching, and it's February 9th, and I'm going to admit to you that recently, like over the last couple days, I've started to think maybe it's not going to happen. I'm starting to think maybe Jed and the boys are thinking youth movement. I don't know. So it wouldn't surprise me, I guess, at this point either way. But I had been over the course of time, real sure Bellinger was going to be re-signed, then went down to 90% sure to 80% sure, and now I just don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we're there. So there's two sides of the coin. On the first side, there's free agents available still. Not even talking about trade possibilities. I'm just talking about free agents. Bellinger, Chapman, Votto, Longoria, Soler, Brandon Belt, Tommy Pham. Pitchers Jordan Montgomery, Blake Snell, Greinke, Lorenzen, Arias, Clevenger. Side note, Corey Kluber just announced his retirement. So he was on the free agent list. I guess he'd made the decision to go ahead and retire. That just came across the wire in front of me here recently. So, I don't know, if it's youth movement, let's go. Let's put the boys in, let's play. I don't know, but you got you got a lot of them. And if that's the way we're going, then that's the way we're going. We do have 4 new additions, however. There's 4 players on the 40-man roster, but these 4 all show up on the depth chart in a way that would make me say they'll be on the active roster as well. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm going to give you the 4 guys who are on the 40-man that we didn't have last year, that we acquired either through trade or free agent signing, that I believe will be on the active roster and he'll start the season, if healthy, with the Cubs. And that is the 2 that we got from the Dodgers in the trade, Yency Almonte, the pitcher, and Michael Busch. Both those guys are new, and I expect them to be on the active roster. Same is true with the 2 pitchers, Shota Imanaga and Hector Neris. I think both those guys are going to be there. So, looking to kind of compare where we were last year. Where did we improve? How did we improve? It looks like we're, if we don't get Bellinger back, we lose Bellinger, and we add the kids plus the free agent signings and the trade piece with Michael Busch and Almonte. So that's kind of where we are. There's still time. I just know that in my mind, I've started to accept the fact that maybe that's it. Maybe we've got what we're gonna have, and let's embrace it. So, another piece of news this week: Major League Baseball came out with their Premier Team, and they for every position they assigned the best player, and I just thought it was kind of interesting. So I'm going to give you the list of the best players at each position in the major leagues, and kind of let you ponder that. Pitcher is Garrett Cole. The relief pitcher is Devin Williams. The catcher is Adley Rutschman. At first base is Freddie Freeman. At second base is Mookie Betts. Third base, Austin Riley. Shortstop, Corey Seager. Left field is Yordan Alvarez. In center field is Aaron Judge. And in right field is Ron Acuna Jr. That's a pretty good lineup. I wouldn't need to argue any of it, really. But that's the list. That's the dream team as of right now. Let's go to Mesa. Spring training hasn't officially started yet, but players have been showing up in Mesa, and I've been kind of tracking that. Who's there? We got a lot of them there. A lot of the kids are there. And Nick Madrigal showed up, but it's different Nick Madrigal. It's jacked up, juiced up, bulked up Nick Madrigal. Nick has obviously spent the last, 4 months in the weight room, because it's a significant difference. He's big. It reminded me of the year that Schwarber came back from the offseason all svelte, right? Lost all that weight, It's like kind of transformed himself. That's what Nick Madrigal's done. Nick, you can see it. Just look one shot of him, and I saw a picture of him with the bat in his hand, and just looks juiced up. So we'll see what that does. Nick Madrigal took it seriously, decided to put on some muscle, and he sure did. Shota Imanaga is in Mesa as well, and he threw a bullpen session recently. Justin Steele happened to watch it, and when it was done, Justin Steele made the comment that he thought Shota's stuff was filthy. So Justin Steele is a big fan of Shota Imanaga. James Triantos, prospect, infielder, was seen taking batting practice left-handed this last week. I didn't know he was a switch hitter, and I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying he was spotted taking BP from the left side. So that's in the back of our mind. We'll see how that goes. Drew Smiley keeps getting rave reviews. I mentioned Drew in a previous piece about how he'd gone to one of these driveline sessions where they hooked him up and analyzed everything, and the numbers on his pitches were really good. So he's really, whatever he's doing, he's improving. But he's getting rave reviews in Mason now for other reasons, and he's got the variations of a couple of splitters. So I'm getting the feeling that he's got some new pitches that maybe we haven't seen, and I'll be looking forward to seeing that. Sure would be nice to have Drew Smiley sort of, being that veteran presence and helping us out. So we're all rooting for Drew. Other guys I've seen, Nico is there, Owen Casey is there, Bush is there. So we got several pitchers there. So it looked good. A lot of guys showed up early, and they're there getting ready to go. The Cubs have made some managerial decisions in the farm system. I'll share those with you. Marty Peavy is the manager in Iowa. In Tennessee, it's Lance Reimel. High A South Bend Cubs, Nick Lavullo. Myrtle Beach is Buddy Bailey. And Corey Ray is the manager for the Arizona rookie team. So we made some moves there. Some Joe Girardi news. This week, Joe Girardi has signed on with the network YES in New York. Joe's going to be covering and calling Yankee games. I guess that means he won't be doing the Cub marquee stuff. And it made me think, I just wanted to throw this out and see what you guys think. I know that last year there were times when instead of just having Boog and JD, we had the third person, whether it was Girardi or Doug Glanville, whoever. And I didn't like it. I was always disappointed when they had a third person in the booth. I like Boog and JD. I like Boog and JD individually, and I think together, just them, really good dynamics. They play off of each other really, really well. And I noticed that when a third person came in, it threw that off for them. And it was almost like both of them were trying maybe too hard to incorporate the third guy. And I don't think JD was happy. I've been watching JD a long time. I don't know, you tell me. JD just he's not the same guy with that third guy. So when I saw that Joe Girardi had signed with the Yes Network in New York, I was like, okay, good. I just want Boog and JD. That's all I need. And let them roll. So we'll see what happens. Theo Epstein is in the news. He's back with the Red Sox as a part owner. Theo Epstein is a really impressive dude. 50 years old. I mean, think about what Theo has done in the game. He's just now 50. So he's part owner, back with the Red Sox, but he's also a senior advisor to what is called the Fenway Sports Group. Just an impressive guy, Theo Epstein. Made me think this week, he's 50 years old. Is he may be the commissioner of baseball at some time in his career. I mean, who at 50 has done more than Theo Epstein? So we'll keep an eye on that. I like Theo too. Some quick little hitters. Michael Rucker, who we designated for assignment last week to make room on the 40-man roster for Hector Neris, has been traded to the Phillies for cash consideration. So we wish Michael Rucker well. Hope he does well. Clayton Kershaw's back with the Dodgers. That just happened. Not Cub news, but baseball news. I think we should know that. Similar piece is the Kansas City Royals extended the contract of their 23-year-old shortstop, third baseman Bobby Whit Jr. I don't watch a lot of American League Baseball, but I do know about Bobby Whit Jr., and I saw him play a few times. I mean, 23 years old, really good. Well, he finished 7th in the MVP voting last year. He slashed 276 with a 319 on base and a 495 slug, had 30 home runs and 96 RBIs. I mean, he's pretty good. So the Royals have just made him the face of their franchise, signing him to an 11-year extension, and the money is sort of progressive, I would say. I think like $2 million, then $3 million, and it goes up down the line up to $35 million. So Bobby Whit Jr. is a Kansas City Royal. Ian Happ has expressed that he's been frustrated with Craig Counsell. That's what he said, and that's true. He has been, not here recently, but over the last 5 or 6 years. When the Brewers were in the last 6 years, they made the playoffs 5 of those 6 years, and a lot of that was at the expense of us and Ian. So Ian expressed how frustrated he was the way that Craig Counsell managed his matchups. He said, it always seemed like I was facing the one guy that I didn't want to face when Craig Counsell was managing. And I thought, yeah, I felt that too. You know, he'd bring in Josh Hader with just 1 out in the 8th. And then I'm like, well, that's it. You know, so Craig Counsell frustrated me. He's really good at matchups, and that's one of the things they talked about when they first hired him. So Ian Happ has come out and said, yeah, he's just really good at that. So that'll be something for us to watch. How does he manage that on our side? I'm looking forward to it. I saw this recently, and I thought, I'm going to share this with you. Anthony Rizzo has a career ERA as a pitcher of 0. He's pitched 1 inning total over 2 games, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And the strikeout was Freddie Freeman. And if you haven't seen Rizzo strike out Freeman, you have to see it. It is wildly entertaining. If you have seen it, and it's been a while, you might want to look at it again. I watched it 3 or 4 times. It's just so much fun. So I'm going to put a link to a video of Rizzo striking out Freddie Freeman in the description. You guys can check it out. Here's another thing I saw recently, and I read it, and I thought, I don't know the answer to the question. The question is, name the 4 pitchers, Cub pitchers, who have a postseason home run. That's the question. I'll give you a chance to think about it. There's 4 pitchers, Cub pitchers, who have postseason home runs. Coming to you. Here they are. It's Sutcliffe. Rick had a home run in Game 1 of the National League Championship Series in '84. Travis Wood had a home run in Game 2 of the 2016 Division Series. Kerry Wood homered in Game 7 of the '03 National League Championship Series. And Jake Arrieta homered Game 3 of the 16 Division Series. So those are the answer to the question is Sutcliffe, Travis Wood, Kerry Wood, and Jake Arrieta. I thought it was good. Similarly, I saw this post too, and I thought this was interesting. And I'm going to share it with you. It has to do with Nolan Ryan and Roger Clemens, and I didn't know this. I think I knew half of it. Nolan Ryan had 7 no-hitters, but no Cy Youngs. Roger Clemens has 7 Cy Youngs and no no-hitters. That's it. Cubs home run leaders. The question is, who's the top 10 Cubs home run leaders? We all probably get the first 2 or 3. And I did it. I just saw it, and I thought, oh, who is it again down at the bottom? Here's how it goes. Sammy's got 545. Ernie has 512. Billy Williams has 392. Santo has 337. Rhino has 282. Rizzo has 242. Aramis Ramirez has 239. Alfonso Soriano has 181. Derek Lee, D. Lee has 179. And Andre the Hawk Dawson has 174. Just stuff that we can think about. Let's do some spring training to get our heads around it. It's February 9th. The first official workout for Battery Mates is February 14th. That's 5 days. I'm so giddy. I can't wait. February 19th, 10 days out, is the first official full squad workout. If you're going to Sloan Park, the address is 2330 West Rio Salado Parkway in Mesa. Be there or be square. Hot off the presses, I got the non-roster invite list for you. There's 19 of them total. We have 11 pitchers, and it's Colton. We'll do the righties first. There's 19 non-roster invitees. We got pitchers, righty and lefty. I got 3 infielders, an outfielder, and 4 catchers. Here we go. Pitchers, righties, Colton Brewer, Chris Clark, Carl Edwards Jr., Sam McWilliams, Ethan Roberts coming back from that Tommy John surgery, Cam Sanders, and Riley Thompson. The lefties are Edwin Escobar, Richard Lovelady, Thomas Pannone, and Brad Wick back in the news. I'm going to give you a name. I saw this name and I was like, I have not talked about this guy. I don't remember. Months. 3 infielders. Who am I talking about? David Bodie. Bodie has been invited. He's going to be in spring training. One of the 3 infielders. Along with Matt Shaw and Chase Strumpf. 1 outfielder, Owen Casey. And the 4 catchers are Jorge Alfaro, Pablo Aliendo, Joe Hudson, and Bryce Wyndham. So those are the 19 non-roster invitees that are heading to Mesa. Congratulations to those guys. I've got a guy I want to introduce you to. His name's Greg Huss. And I just wanted to give you a heads up. I'm trying to schedule to have Greg Huss on the show. Greg he's a podcast guy, and he's a writer. And I noticed that he does a lot of stuff with the Cubs farm system, a lot of the prospects. And he had created this metric. It's like we need a new metric, But he created a new one that's specifically for minor league players. And I thought it made a lot of sense, and it's a little bit complicated. So I contacted him, and I thought, we're talking to him, and I'm like, I think I want to have you on the show. I haven't had a guest on the show yet, and I didn't know that I was getting ready to do that. I figured at some point I would start doing it. But I think I've got Greg Huss lined up. So we're trying to work his schedule out where we can get together and do an interview. But in the meantime, if you want to prep for it, Greg Huss, Huss, you can find him. And interesting stuff, interesting metric that I wanted to share with you. So hopefully that'll be coming here in the coming week. Guys, I think that's it. That's all my news. I will start a new news block for us for next week to do this weekend update. I really like it. I think it's important. Captures all the little nuggets, the little nuances that maybe, slip through. None of these are necessarily, big enough that I think I should do a whole, an isolated piece on it. But I think together it's good entertainment. I like doing it. So weekend updates are here to stay, at least for the short term. That's it for now, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you checking us out here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. And we'll see you guys very soon. Go Cubs, go.